Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. Today we're talking about something that's really close to my heart. How to stay positive as a single parent. Being a single parent, whether that's by choice or by circumstances, it's a really challenging time for many reasons. And unless you've been a single parent, you won't really understand what that feels like. It's a very lonely, very isolating position to be in. So let's talk about some strategies on how you can stay positive when things can become feeling too much or when you feel lonely and don't know where to turn. You're probably already somebody trying to bring everything together, trying to stay positive as much as possible. You're probably stronger than you think. But let's talk about some strategies to make sure that you are always feeling your best and feeling positive about the situation and how you can keep positive in general to support yourself and to support your family. My first tip is to embrace gratitude. This is a very new thing for me. I have been writing in a gratitude journal for the last couple of months now, and it's really changed my mindset in a lot of ways. I think I was already naturally doing this before I started writing in it because I was already going on a bit of a positivity journey. But the gratitude and finding something that I'm grateful for each day helps me to appreciate those smaller things when there's not always a bigger thing to appreciate. So it's about finding those moments in the day that are really nice, humble, that you're really thankful for, moments of calm, moments of joy that you can really appreciate for what they are. It helps you to become a bit more present and in the moment rather than trying to be somebody that's always looking ahead or planning or becoming anxious. Sometimes we need to step back and assess where we are and be thankful for where we are. And there will be lots to be thankful for in your day. And the types of things you can write can be anything really. You could be grateful for your child's laughter that day, that you heard a song that you really enjoyed, that you managed to get a good night's sleep for a change. And it doesn't matter if you repeat some of those things each day because you're still appreciating that moment, that thing, that essence of the day that is important to you. So focus in on those little things each day that you really are grateful for. And it helps to shift your mindset. It helps you to create that feeling of content and feeling like it's okay, that your environment, your life is okay, and it doesn't need to be compared to others because you are focusing on what you have got, not what others have got, which can be a really difficult thing to avoid doing. I used to compare myself to everybody. Everybody else was moving on, everybody was finding partners, having other babies, getting married again, and it didn't happen for me. And I had to learn that it's okay that it hasn't happened and that not everybody gets the setup that they think they're going to get. And I'm okay with that. And it's about being appreciative of the joy that you've got in your daily life. Tip number 2 is to show kindness to yourself and to others. And this is why there's kind of two parts to that. Yes, you probably show kindness to others, you probably show kindness to your children all the time, but show kindness in lots of different ways. It's really important that you're um, making moments in the day to appreciate and say what you like about somebody or how proud you are of them or what's gone well and that you think that that's a really nice thing that somebody else has done. And also be kind to yourself. Be kind to yourself in a way that allows you to have some you time and also allows you to create that moment of self love as well, because you have to be kind to yourself. Eat well, speak nicely about yourself, speak in a positive frame of mind about yourself, and will help your mind to appreciate those positive things. When you start showing more kindness to yourself, you'll also show more kindness to others in your general daily life. You'll start being appreciative of other things that they do, and you'll show that, and you'll compliment and you'll help others out more. And there's a real good feeling from that. I know it sounds a bit selfish to do that. You shouldn't do kind things to feel good, but it does make you feel good. It does get those endorphins going where you actually think, okay, doing something nice for somebody else has actually relieved some of my anxiety, my stress, my worry by helping somebody relieve their stress or worry. So you have a big impact on how you speak to others. So always use kindness at the first opportunity, and how you speak to yourself and how you speak to your children. It's really important that you come with a place of kindness. Try and see things from their points of view, and that can be really frustrating in high intense argumentative situations. I've often found that we need to move away from each other if we are in that heightened state. We can't have a conversation like that. We cannot think clearly, we cannot come up with the right actions, the right responses if we're in a heightened state. So it's all about making sure that you're in a calm position to talk to each other. That is showing kindness to one another as well as respect to one another. And make sure you hear each other out and try and work through them together. Appreciate and acknowledge feelings that are involved and how they are feeling and what might have led to that feeling. And be reflective of yourself when it comes to that. I think quite often in argumentative situations, it can be really easy to be black and white about things. We've got to be open and transparent and humble ourselves. Like if we realise we've done something wrong, said it in the wrong way, acknowledge that and speak openly about that. I think it's good to model mistake making as well in those kind of environments. That's how you learn to resolve arguments in a calmer way, is by taking that time to hear one another. So always show kindness, even in a situation where it is really hard to do so. And as you show kindness to people outside of your family environment, you're also then helping to build that sense of community, which is really invaluable as a single parent. If you've enjoyed this video so far, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and press like and subscribe so that you know when I upload new videos to my channel. Every like, comment and share is very much appreciated, so please let me know what you think below. Which leads nicely on to tip number 3 of build your support network. And this can come in many forms. It doesn't have to be particularly friends, it doesn't have to be family. If you don't have very many friends and family, there are ways that you can build a network from scratch and open up new doors, new conversations, new people into your life. And one key area is online community. So if you're at the point where you're quite anxious to go out and don't have the ability to go out lots, search for a nourishing and a supportive online environment. There are lots of mums websites and support networks. There's different ways that you can get information and kind of bounce off other people on ideas and situations. There's lots of different ways where you could get some advice. Always take things with a little bit of a pinch of salt and make sure that you form a judgment based on a number of different opinions or advice so that you know what is right for you. But build your support network online is a really good place to start. Do try and lean on friends and family if you can do. If that's not an option, it's time to start building some new networks. So this is an opportunity to get out and about, go to different family fun days, talk to people, engage in conversation at craft stalls and things like that. You just never know when you're going to get a connection of friendship with somebody, and that's an opportunity to nourish it and see where that goes. You also might want to consider getting active in different ways. There are free events in your area. Search for them, look them up, go to these things, or go to those low cost events where you've got the opportunity to network. Children's events or adult events. So you've got the opportunity to be out and about. There are great opportunities within Junior Park Run. That is a free run every Sunday for 4 to 14-year-olds. That's what I go to. That was a really great way of me building my support network by helping out and volunteering. I was then building a little network of people that I was interacting with on a weekly basis. And that weekly interaction is really key if you're somebody that doesn't have much adult interaction. And it's going to be an environment that's supportive, that's supporting children, and it's going to be a really nice, warm environment. So consider things like that, where you really get the opportunity to exercise with your children or to volunteer while your children exercise. And what's great about that is that within that, I've now developed my skills. I have become a really good volunteer in that I've now trained up to be a run director. And then I socialise with the volunteer team afterwards in the cafe that's nearby. So we really do get to have extra interactions, communications, and friendships build from something that was completely free. Tip number 4 is to cultivate self love and self care within your daily life. You can't pour from an empty cup. You have to prioritize yourself in order to be able to support your family and your children. So, really make sure that you are doing the things that make you feel good to be able to fill up your cup so that you can support others. Schedule in some me time, even if it's only 5, 10, 15 minutes in a day, where you just sit and do something that you want to do, or you go for a little walk, or you watch something that you want to watch. That is still self care, that is still you time. And make sure that they are things that you really love and appreciate so that you get that value back to yourself. And it could be for reading, relaxing in the bath, or going for a lovely walk, or treating yourself to some nice food. Self care isn't selfish, it's about being able to be present in the moment. And it's really hard to do that if you're not in the best physical and mental position to be able to do that. Tip number 5 is to think about your sphere of control. This is a really important strategy that I learned when I was managing my chronic fatigue to be able to reduce overwhelm, to reduce stress. I only worry about things that I can control. So if I'm thinking about a situation or an event, if it's something that I can't control, then there's not an awful lot of point in me worrying. I can't do anything about that to change that situation or that event, etc. But if I have things that I am worried about that I can control, I can make steps to improve that. I can make changes. I can do something about that. So that is something that I consider worth worrying about because actually I can also do something about it. So I can make slow, steady steps. Even if I can't do a massive change straight away, I can still make steps in the right direction to make a change about that thing. So I only worry about things that I can control. If it's not something that I can control, then there's not an awful lot of point in me worrying. I can only control certain things. So those are the things that I focus on, and I don't give any energy to those other things because it's draining, it's overwhelming, and there's also not an awful lot of point. So think about the things you can do. And things that you can't control are like external bills or maybe people that are not particularly kind, traffic jams you can't control, and you also can't control other people's behaviour. What you can control is your reaction to it. You don't have to react in a way that gives them what they want. You can react in a way that works for you, that is calm for you, that doesn't impact other things. Tip number 6 is meal planning and healthy eating. I think one of the big things that I struggled with at one point was just keeping on top of the budget and making sure that I was eating healthily. That has been a real focus of mine. I eat less meat meals. I try and pretty much eat a vegetarian diet at the minute because I'm trying to get in as much veg into my diet as possible. And I find that if I reduce the meat that I have, then I'm forced to eat more vegetables because I have to put something on my plate. So I do think that eating healthily is really important for staying positive. It really helps your gut to do all the right things it needs to. If you've got a healthy gut, you're going to have a healthy mind because they are all interconnected. I've done a lot of research from different readings, different doctors, and different experiments and trials where they really talk about how a plant-based diet can really improve your well-being, your mental state. So it's really important that you consider how you are looking after your body as a part of self-care as well. And by doing meal planning, you can make sure that that happens in a constructive way where you know that you're going to be able to do something that the kids will eat, that you will eat, so that it is a manageable situation to be in. And if your kids are not that involved with healthy eating, maybe get them involved in meal prepping. Get them trying things, tasting things, and experimenting with food. Get them to make it into a picture, make it into a shape, so that they find the process of eating healthily more enjoyable as well. My last tip, tip number 7, is choose your battles. I think that's quite a common phrase in parenting, but it cannot be understated how important it is to choose your battles when it comes to parenting and to be able to deal with your mindset around things. If it's really not that important, there's not an awful lot of point of having an argument about things. Choose where you think your boundaries lie and work within that, because you don't want to be pushing children to feel like they're controlled. They need to be able to express themselves and express their choices. That is part of how they grow and learn and develop. So make sure that you are given those opportunities to express and to experiment with things. Let them do things that you think might not go to plan, because it's part of their mistake making and learning and building resilience. So choose your battles when it comes to what you do want to control and what you don't, because actually there's some things that really don't need micromanaging on a daily basis. What you can focus on here is just building respect and choice making and decision making. Being a single parent is an incredible journey and it's really tough, and it's okay to feel like that as well. But there are so many strategies that we've just talked about that will really support finding a positive outlook within that journey, within that situation, because it can be tough and there are others that are in the same position, so you're not alone. Do you have any of your own tips below about how to stay positive as a single parent? I would love to hear from you. I should be back for more videos soon. Take care. Bye.